I'll meet you in table. Uncle? What quest do you have?
Clive! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks.
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible...
From what little I saw.
But I was rather hoping the great and good of... Alas, it seems that firm leader... We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenge is the realm's armies. As you've seen firsthand, certain cities have banded together to try... And yet,
Okay.
the only remedy for the chaos that... In short, if
Unity.
Storm does not stand together,
She will
she
fall
will fall
apart.
apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest, but I do know someone the High Commanders have been...
I thought he was retired.
He was. Until an Akashic army tore through and as luck would have it...
Of course, yeah.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of... frustratingly... I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course. You don't mind...
Of course not.
All
As
right.
long as
then.
chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak,
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian...
Excellent.
No.
Let's check. Check in with you, Hippocrates.
Hippocrates. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
And you seek a rare one whose name I hadn't.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade. Clive, I fear she asks the impossible.
The executor.
Coveters of secret, a clandestine organization, committed one such text, being the tome Vivian seeks. Chronicling as it does, the true history, a tale which could overturn the established or so rumor has it.
How is it that I haven't heard of this?
Why? They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched
by the hand of the executors.
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, or you may just as soon ask me of their origins.
Then my hunt was doomed from the... What was Vivian expect?
Not from thin air, no.
Oh, from
Rumors of the executors are right, but rather less so across the strait. I have alas,
Darnik. Okay.
I have, but though he did not mention it by name, if you were by some chance...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Let's check with you, Torgal.
All right, Torgal. I'm going to need a little bit more... Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... You've already given...
Okay.
Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in... almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there. It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up, for never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
What's going on, player?
Cyril, you found a letter
Oh,
from
right, the
Father.
will.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
his plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted the complete emancipation of Bear, but your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message, nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
There's somebody
What
left.
do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Hey, return to the Walking Sands. There's a quest in here anyway.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my
Cyril, you
Lord
have a quest as
Marquis,
well?
What is it?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the... He sent an owl somewhat...
Was he surveying another fallen...
No. The object of his study was a savior
Something
of
in
an
ash.
ancient religion that worshipped. By gaining an understanding of this
And so you sent one of your brothers to her?
I entrusted the mission to one of the most able, though he has been silent for some days. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, for as you so earnestly advised me,
Alright, I'll go get him too.
It would not.
If I can.
But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
perhaps. The last owl iris, Mickleberg was its name. It lies in the
Oh,
southern
he said
reaches of
Nickelback for a
Woodland.
second.
If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
Right.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes.
If this new filth really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first. Shall we?
Who's...
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield.
Goditha?
Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, and
Lift up your head, Lady God. You have our gratitude.
I merely did my duty.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been that...
Keepsake.
Indeed it has.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures. Alas,
Armbands.
he did. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these. Works in but with his grace long since gone. You are grown men now. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you.
We will.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it is found in the bellies of elder... We do
Elder
at least know
griffins.
where to find one.
A certain
Titan's
You are
Wake.
most perceptive, your grace. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant. Were you to slay it in his stead?
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Let's get it.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed.
Oh shit.
Be safe.
There it is.
For House Rossfield.
Didn't even get a chance to block. Stop doing this attack, it's so annoying. Flew past me already. No chance to dodge. How did that still hit me?
Help me, boy. Nice try.
Oh my god, it doesn't give you a chance.
Guess we're all ready.
Got it.
Is this the Heartstone?
I would think so.
Here, take a look at my wares. Anything else?
$20K, I'll buy it.
Of course. Go safely.
griffin.
And the heartstone.
Did they have two?
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. You're great. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me.
Cool.
The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion, and the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Enemies who would thwart his vision.
Oh, and only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms.
Indeed. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Damn,
Thank
that's
you,
beautiful.
Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant of the deep love he had for both of you. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered... I tried to warn your father, but when word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my...
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. And so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been...
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my... Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. Since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate, I prithee claim it. And I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Damn,
Thank you, Cyril.
it's tough.
Come on, Clive.
Here we are
Adi
again.
Mantois.
Carava, if you were a tortoise, Togor, where would you hide?
He wouldn't.
It looks like we found him.
Still hear me. a stagger. And they finished it.
It can't be Rutherford, can it?
It might be. And he's with the guy.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of...
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field. This won't take long.
You're right.
Fools.
It, man.
She thinks I'm gonna burn them all. I was sure I blocked.
It's over.
Finished.
Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you in?
No, my lord. Fucking traitors. But I hadn't thought the corruption had... It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring.
Before I agree... I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos, that I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons.
Hell yeah,
So long,
Clive.
so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw.
I am vengeance. I am the knight.
All right. I'll start. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. We will need an envoy. One who...
I'm flattered. And I have other problems. What we need is a skilled...
Is that, sir? And would he...
Of a different kind.
I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me as...
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Let me guess, Lubor. And if not Lubor, there's a few others.
I can barely convince my brother to take it. Someone like Quentin.
Oh, Quentin. That also works.
Northreach, he'd be testing this recruit.
Oh fuck, I forgot about this.
Well met, this is the initiate. Ember?
At your service.
Please, just Sid.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluated.
To become a scout, yes.
I am. But I swore I'd face...
Who would that be?
Gav?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout. And bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily... You'll need to assess the situation. All without being discovered and...
Ember. Gav isn't our best...
Know my limits. Right, I won't let you down.
On my way.
Do you have a moment?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. The town was left all but unguarded. So and though my dear boys have been characteristically... So I was wondering if you would lend them...
Okay. I got you.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine. And it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive me.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would...
I would. Myself, and were you to join us, we would surely...
Does that not seem a trifle?
Drastic action is precisely... My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people.
Damn straight, Sabine.
He's always been like this, scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible...
Fight him? Respectfully, my lady. While I understand your frustrations,
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. But perhaps it's better that you heard them from him.
Right away.
Okay, he's in the
It's
market.
just a pity I cannot join you.
Your town needs you.
Saw the captain just now.
By the gates,
What does
Philippe.
the dame have to say about...
There he is. Look
So
at
you
his
are
Sabine.
content to abandon the people? Please, if you were a true son of Northreach...
That's exactly what...
Or trying to, at least.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison. Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
You need to chill out, Sabine. You're gonna get people hurt.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father.
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
Anyway.
Our mutual friend.
Oh, right, as always. We've had some reports.
They're back.
Seems that way. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but...
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? Oh, thank you. I'll look into one of the other sightings.
You got it, buddy. It's like straight ahead. Oh, I guess I should go more towards the coast.
The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Yeah, man. This is never over. Oh, there's specters. 5, you fuck, he had 5, Joshua, you had 1 job. They didn't waste the Zantetsuken.
Clive!
Love Philippe.
You alright?
I am. I dispatched the few that I...
Well, there's something us. But what were they doing south of town? We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other. But from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. You head back to Northreach.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working, stirring up ill feeling towards her
What? I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, alright?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One snip.
Good job, Philippe.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as great Grieger wills it.
You're a
Perhaps
fool.
we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore. You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope They are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griega.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
Oh,
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes.
It's like the 15th time I've heard this.
Together for Northreach!
You heard the dame? What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
Man, fuck that dude. Even had the audacity to say common whore after all that.
The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands?
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way, so what about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things.
All right.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins...
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
Are there? Just don't seem that many. There's one that's really far away and that's annoying.
Is it over?
No.
It's only just begun.
Parry. Damn, that got him. That skin's powerful.
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together.
Really came in and just
not by force,
talking about that.
Nor by the exercise of God, but by simply being one of them.
Our purpose was ever the same. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision.
You have, as did you. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Pop. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This, I should have listened to you.
Your Eminence. But I believe the same could. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. Will you join?
Yes.
Thank you, Your
Let's do this.
Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The Dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded. How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, and so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us. Those that could be healed, at least.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would return the kindness, that I would repay my debt.
Just like that, you can cut out a load of words.
For sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
I'll always be a homie.